All right, fifth graders, we're going to go over how to add and subtract fractions that are mixed numbers and they're unlike on the bottom. So, wow, we started this last week and it's just a couple more steps than what we did yesterday, but pretty much the same concept. So, the problem that I have here is 7 and 5/6 minus 3 and 1/4. So, I'm going to follow each of the steps for each of the boxes and make sure that I am doing each box slowly and correctly and paying attention. So this problem, let's make sure, is also subtraction. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore the whole numbers. So I'm going to take away their partners. So their partners in this case are 7 and 3. And I'm going to rewrite the fraction as 5/6 minus 1/4. And we're not going to know the answer to that, so I'm going to leave that as a question mark. So we're just going to pretend that the whole numbers aren't even there. Next, I'm going to find the common denominator for 5/6 and 1/4. So I'm going to count by 4s on the top. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And then on the bottom, I'm going to count by 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. I might have to count by 4s just one more time here. So I might have to add a row here. And I'm just going to do a comma here, and I'm going to do 24. So the common denominator for both fractions is, and I can go up here to highlight, is 24. And now I have to convert to equivalent fractions with the common denominators. So this part's the same as what we've been doing. So to get 5/6 to 24, I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 times, which means I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 4 to get 24ths. Now I'm going to do 1/4 times something to get 24 on the bottom. So I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 6 to get 6 24ths. I'm going to go down, and it says to rewrite the problem by adding the whole numbers back. So my new problem that I have is, first I'm going to add my whole numbers back, which are 7 and then 3. And then if I go up here, my new equivalent fractions for 5/6 is 20 24ths. So I'm going to put 20 24ths here. And then I'm going to put 6 24ths where 1/4 was. All right, and it might bump it down to the next page, hopefully not, but if it does do that, whoop, sorry, 1 sec. Sometimes I get calls in the middle of my recordings. All right, so now I'm going to add or subtract. I'm going to subtract the whole numbers, then I'm going to do the fraction. So my whole numbers are 7 minus 3, which equals 4. My fractions are 20 24ths minus 6 24ths. And remembering that I'm keeping the bottom of the fractions the same. I am not subtracting the bottoms, only the top. 20 minus 6 would be 14. So I'd have 14 24ths. So my answer would be 4 and 14 24ths. And I would just type that in the box. So let's go over these steps one more time. First thing I do is I rewrite the problem without the whole numbers. So I pretend that the 7 and the 3 are not there and that this problem is just 5/6 minus 1/4. I'm going to find the common denominator of 1/4 and 5/6. I'm going to convert it to equal fractions. Then I'm going to rewrite my equation by adding the whole numbers back. So I'm going to bring that 7 and 3 back down, and I'm going to make it 7 and 20 24ths minus 3 and 6 24ths. Then I'm going to subtract the whole numbers, which 7 minus 3 is 4, and then subtract my new equivalent fractions to get 4 and 14 24ths. My expectation is that you do the next two problems on your own, remembering that paying attention to the sign. On this one, we are actually going to be adding. So make sure you're paying attention to the sign, and if you need any help, I'd love to Google Meet with you one-on-one and help you. Good luck.